I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a lot of older dudes might try to cut you short. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of dudes hear me rap and they're like, oh, this motherfucker is dope. He's fucking really good. But they'll try to boil it down to being like, oh, she's 18. This must be like a hobby to him. I'm across the country right now if this look like a fucking hobby to you, you know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? So I think a lot of people might try to sleep on you because of your age. Chief Keef used to tell motherfuckers he was 300. Yo, this Lord Sko, and I'm with Youre Sleeping right now. We making history, you heard? Hollywood Boulevard shit, facts. What's going on, man?
So where are you from?
I'm from Washington Heights, New York, up in Manhattan. You know, it's above Harlem a little bit, close to the Bronx, kind of. Yeah, I'm from New York, Washington Heights, what's up? You know, I think obviously I'm from New York, so I grew up listening to a lot of the New York greats and all of that, and just being surrounded by the culture with that. So, but I think what really makes me wanna sound like a New York rapper a lot is, you know, there's never really been a rapper that came out of my neighborhood like that before. You know what I mean? Like, everybody from New York knows Washington Heights, you know. It's known for having good weed, fire shorties, good food, all of that, but it's not like a known staple where you could go out of New York and people would know what you're talking about. So I just really want people to know, like, you know, I'm really trying to put on for my neighborhood, you know, for my city in general, but definitely my neighborhood, no doubt.
How would you describe your sounds?
I would say it's genuine, it's authentic, you know what I mean? It's just, I try to make shit that I would want to hear, you know what I mean? So I try to fuse a lot of the old school with the new shit. You know what I mean? Kind of get a nice, comfortable blend, something familiar, something relatable, you know?
How long have you been making music?
So I've been making music for a while. You know, I started writing in middle school. You know what I mean? Taking it kind of slow. I wasn't taking it too seriously back then, but the older I got, the more I realized, like, oh, I could really take this seriously. So, you know, by the time I got into high school, I was dropping some songs. You know, during high school, I really took the time to work on my sound, perfect that, you know what I mean? Really get the craft down, do the homework. And, you know, I just dropped the album over the summer, Museum, doing real well. Shout out Lil Walker, shout out all the artists involved on that shit. You know what I mean? So I've just been trying to keep pushing the boundaries and expand it, no doubt.
How was the reception of that? You said it was doing really well.
Yeah, bro, the reception has been really great, you know what I mean? Like, I feel good because I feel like it came off like a real debut project, which is what I wanted, like a debut, classic debut, you know what I mean? Really get the people reeled in on what I'm doing. You know, streaming wise, it's been doing great. I don't try to focus on the numbers too much, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I really try to focus more on the people who heard it and then DM me and were like, yo, this is a fucking timeless project. And I got a lot of those DMs, so, you know, it's been good, bro. You know, I just want to keep proving myself, keep establishing what I'm trying to build, and, you know what I mean, just keep doing what feels right to me as a musician and as an artist.
What's it like being so young, but having such a focused mind in music right now?
It's cool. I mean, I think there's a couple things I gotta say to that. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a lot of older dudes might try to cut you short. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of dudes hear me rap and they're like, oh, this motherfucker is dope. He's fucking really good. But they'll try to boil it down to being like, oh, she's 18. This must be like a hobby to him. I'm across the country right now if this look like a fucking hobby to you, you know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? So I think a lot of people might try to sleep on you because of your age. Chief Keef used to tell motherfuckers he was 300 for that reason. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's a joke, but you feel me? I think there's a lot of truth behind that shit. And I think there's definitely a lot of advantages to it too, in that I think people see you doing this when you're young and they're like, wow, this is really impressive, this is really dope. But I feel like some of the people who have been there, you know what I mean, might be a little salty to see that you're doing that at such a young age when they might be 30-something still trying to accomplish whatever you've done and you putting up better numbers, doing more than them, you know what I mean? But I ain't trying to throw no shade enough, and I'm just trying to say how it is. I feel like a lot of people might try to undercut what you're doing. But at the same time, you just gotta know that you're gonna be stunting on her, you know what I mean? But and I think the other thing is if you're a young artist, my advice would be do your homework so that you can do shit like reach those older crowds while still being in your lane, you know what I mean? Because the people in your age bracket are gonna fuck with you regardless because they're in your age bracket. But if you do your homework on shit, some of these older cats is gonna see that and really respect that, you know what I mean? And that's how you really draw in all types of audiences and all of that, you know what I mean? You just gotta know who you trying to really reach in your shit and go for it, man. No doubt.
Said this is your first time out in LA?
Yeah, it's my first time out in LA. It's really like my first time out of the Northeast, really. You know, I'm all around New York. I've been to Massachusetts a couple times, you know, Philly, DC, like once. But you know, like this is really my first time like traveling, you know, flight delays and all that. But I'm really happy, really blessed and grateful to be out here. Not trying to take nothing for granted, you know. Feels good, you know, like as much as I love being from New York and as much pride as I take in being from here, you know, it really feels good to, like, you know what I mean, see some new shit. You know, I hope that's really gonna expand my writing and you know, the experiences I could speak on.
What's the most important thing underground artists need to really focus on if they want to get themselves out there?
Themselves, you know what I mean? I think there's not like a specific formula that I could recommend. Like, and I feel bad because I got some of my friends will hit me up, oh, like, what are you doing to get this shit? You just gotta stay consistent, apply the pressure. You know what I mean? Network with the right people, find platforms that are gonna cater to similar audiences you're trying to cater to, tap in with them, tap in with artists that cater to similar audiences and really just build your shit the way that feels right, you know what I mean? Don't pass up on opportunities that you think will be benefiting you, you know? It's just, I'd say, like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta have a certain sense of just confidence in the end goal. But what you gotta do is, like, once you have that end goal, you just gotta do everything you can to work towards it. Because once you know what you wanna accomplish, just follow the steps that seem appropriate. Facts.
End of the year right now. Did you reach your goals for the year, and what are your goals for next year?
I think I met a good amount of my goals for this year. I think my goals every year are somewhat the same. I mean, obviously there's gonna be specific landmarks that I'm looking to reach, but this year I think I did well. You know what I mean? I think I did real well. And I think it's only leaving me more room to grow, but you know, as long as museums showing up on end of year lists, I think I did my job. As long as, and I mean, I'm still growing my audience and shit. I'm out here in LA right now. You know, I think I hit some of my end of year list goals and shit for sure, no doubt.
Anybody who hasn't checked you out yet, what's the first 3 tracks they should check out?
Oh shit, that's a good one. Depending on what you like, but I would say, that's a hard question. I would say Jump Shot, Carry the Torch, and probably Russian Doll. I think if you want to get a full kind of spectrum into me, I'd say Jump Shot is probably the like my closest thing to my usual style. You know what I mean? Just like flow-wise, cadence-wise, and what you're gonna get out of a Lord Sko song lyrically and beat-wise. And I think Carry the Torch is a really dope track. I think that's a really good example of me kind of taking my older influences and pushing it into something newer sounding. Russian Doll is just some ill rap shit, you know what I mean? Crazy track, ill video. So yeah, if you want to hear me fucking rapping my ass off, go listen to Russian Doll. I got videos for all 3 of those tracks too. I would say honorable mention to maybe 94 Coogee, just if you want to hear me on a little bit of a slower tempo. But yeah, you know, I got a ton of really dope shit coming too. Yeah, lots of honorable mentions that I could name. You know, Goldfinger, Hardy Boys, Mark Buchanan, Newport Lord. You know what I mean? But just check out my album if you like what you have heard, even if it's just a song or two. Go peep that album. You know, I tried to make something really cohesive, a full experience.
Shout outs and a final thought.
Yeah. Man, shout out to the people who got me to LA for my first time, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to Arlo Walker. Shout out, you know what I mean, all the rappers I be working with. Shout out Too Many Flowers, Industrial Dre, Marco Plus, Your King the Divine, Wise Boy Jeremy. Those a bunch of my L rap friends if you want to go fuck with them. You know what I mean? Shout out to my moms and shit who's been really supportive of me and shit. Not going to college or whatever, you know, she's cool with her son being a weed smoking rapper. So, you know what I mean, that means a lot to me because she's the teacher and she's a great woman. You know what I mean? Shout out to my aunt who's letting me stay at her crib. Shout out to her boyfriend who's letting me smoke weed with him. I mean, it's fucking dope, bro. We out here. Shout out to my man, Josh, while you're sleeping. You know what I mean? Fuck it. You know what I mean? We outside. Shout out to the community of Washington Heights. Shout out to Mark Buchanan himself. Shout out to Mr. Ralph Lauren. I mean, shout out 50 Cent. Facts. Shout out yeah, I mean, I could keep going. Shout out fucking lots of people deserving of a shout out right now, man. Shout out Earl Sweatshirt. Feel me? Shout out whoever's idea it was to take the credits of a movie and put them at the end instead of the beginning. I know they walked into the studio one day, said that shit, and the whole place was going crazy. And shout out a lot of things, man. If you're fucking with Lord Sko, shout out to you most importantly. And my final thought is, if you in LA, come fuck with me December 10th. This video will probably be out after that anyways, but I was here, all right? You know what I mean? I dragged my ass all the way out from Washington Heights to here. And you know, I'm having a great time, so expect a lot of ill music coming out 2023. I will deliver on that. It's a fact.
You want to say anything else? Great.
Shout out Uptown, Newport Lord, Jeff Hardy, Uptown shit, facts. Slit.
Yeah, I'm rapping.
Look at me go. Get on the video.
Yo, I'm rapping on this small mic. Facts. You see this? Look at this, man. I don't even need a big mic, and they gonna hear me coast to coast. That's a fact. What's going on?